What's up, guys? Mickle here, and we just got some breaking news. It looks like the SEC has a brand new token in their crosshairs. In this video, we're going to go over that, who they're going after, how I think it's going to go for them, but more importantly, what this means for the Ripple SEC case. I actually think this is extremely bullish news, and I'm going to break down for you guys exactly why I think that's the case. You guys are not going to want to miss this. I think this is actually a really big deal. Guys, tomorrow's also going to be an absolutely monumentous day for XRP holders. We have two huge events taking place. At the end of this video, I'm going to go over both of them, show you guys what these two events are. I actually think one of them is going to end up extremely bullish and the other one's going to end up bearish. We're going to talk about both of them, why I think one of them's more bullish, one of them's more bearish. Make sure you stick around for that though, because like I said, these are going to be huge and something we definitely need to be paying attention to. Like always, guys, if you're new to this channel or come here all the time, please take a second to hit the like and subscribe button down below. It goes such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out the link in the description below. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, let's jump right into the breaking news. It looks like the SEC Gov is now going after Binance over unregistered securities of their BNB token. The SEC Gov is saying that Binance should have registered the BNB token as a security back in 2017 as an initial coin offering. So guys, this is absolutely breaking news. This is huge. It looks like Binance and the BNB token is the next project in the SEC's crosshairs, and I would not be surprised in the slightest to see Binance dragged into court over this issue. I thought it was pretty interesting. I always thought an exchange token would eventually be in the crosshairs of the SEC, and that's because exchange tokens always looked a little bit more like a security to me. I'm not sure if that was always just my preference and how I looked at it. I don't necessarily think they are a security. I just think it's an easier case for the SEC than something like XRP. I know I remember seeing Jeremy Hogan's video back in the day where he actually said that the Binance token had the highest probability based on his assessment of being declared a security. It got an 8.5 out of 10. Sure enough, he says now the SEC is going after the BNB coin. So it looks like I'm not the only one who saw this side of it, but it's also important to point out that JW Verrett, he was a former person who actually worked for the SEC. He actually just left. He actually came out and said BNB is clearly not a security. Sales of BNB are not a sale or offer of a security. That analysis is a no-brainer. So it looks like people are pretty divided on it. JW Verrett used to work for the SEC, and he seems pretty confident that BNB is not a security. Jeremy Hogan seems to be leaning more on the side that it could be seen as a security. I think it's safe to say that no cryptocurrency can really inherently be a security once it's fully decentralized. I even studied the Binance token too in depth. If they did have an initial coin offering, then that's pretty interesting because I'm sure the SEC would be looking at that as a very easy target to go after. The only thing the SEC really has been clear on is that initial coin offerings are securities offerings. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the SEC does here. Are they only going to go after Binance for the initial coin offering, or are they going to also go after them and try to say that the BNB token itself is a security? Based on this CoinDesk article, it looks like the SEC is only worried about the coin offering and not necessarily saying that BNB, the token itself, is a security. Now, we have only seen this one CoinDesk article so far. We haven't seen any actual complaint by the SEC, and that's important to point out. But going based on what this CoinDesk article is saying, it looks like the SEC is focused on the ICO. And this is super important and a huge distinction from that of what the SEC is currently saying in the Ripple SEC case. In that case, the SEC is trying to say that the token itself is inherently a security. The main reason this is so important to be paying attention to is because if the SEC thought they were having success with that argument in the Ripple case, there is no doubt in my mind that they would be applying that same exact argument to this BNB case. But it looks like they are going back to their roots and saying that only the ICO is the security event. I think this is extremely telling of what is going on in the Ripple SEC case. It looks like the SEC is losing confidence in their own argument that XRP itself is a security. We know based on everything we have studied, this is almost an impossible argument for the SEC to make. Just a few days ago, I found this in the Perkins Coie memo directly sent to Bill Hinman to try to give him advice on how to decide whether a token was a security or not. And in that exact memo that the SEC used to help guide their guidance on what a security and what was not, it stated directly in it, but once the token has achieved full functionality, it should be treated as a non-security. And also, securities cannot be used in the way utility tokens are intended to be used. As an example, as in payments. So right here, we know that the SEC trying to make the case that the token itself is a security is a farce. That is something they're going to have a very hard time winning based on the guidance provided by their own agency. The token itself is never a security. It's the sale. And we know that this is the biggest problem that the XRP holders and John Dean have with the SEC's case. It's not that Ripple might have had a securities offering at one point. We get it. If the SEC wants to ding them for that, whatever. It's the fact that they're trying to say all XRP out there, all of those XRPs are securities of Ripple. That is absolutely absurd and doesn't make any sense based on the SEC's own guidance. And what do we see now? We see the SEC opening a new suit against Binance, against the BNB token, and going back to its original claims that it's the ICO that's the security, not the token itself. This is very interesting. I really hope we get some insight into what the case actually is, but I think it's super important to be paying attention to because we are seeing the SEC flip-flop on what they are trying to go after, but we also see that the SEC is now taking on another high-profile case. Does that mean that the case against Ripple is almost over with? Are they ready to give up and admit once and for all that XRP is not a security? Guys, let's see, but this is something we need to be paying attention to, and it has already provided us with a lot of interesting information. So guys, now let's move on and talk about the two huge events for XRP holders taking place tomorrow. One of them I think is very bullish, one of them bearish. Let's talk about both. I'll give you the bullish information first. So tomorrow we have the SEC versus Ripple meeting in person in the court. They are going to be talking about the attorney-client privilege, and based on everything I have seen, it looks like the SEC is in huge trouble. They have tried to now make multiple absurd arguments, and they are testing the court's patience. The court has now told them multiple times that this attorney-client privilege, the way they are formulating this argument, cannot be done, and the SEC is insisting on ramming it through anyway. It looks like the court got so fed up that they're calling them there in person to explain themselves on why they are refusing to comply with the court's orders. Now, tomorrow is going to be very interesting, and there's really no doubt in my mind that it's going to be bullish for Ripple. We need to see how it goes, but hopefully what's going to happen is the court's going to demand that the SEC hand over all the emails to the court for an in-camera review. This is the consensus based on everything I have been seeing from all the lawyers on Twitter. If this happens, this is going to be a huge problem for the SEC. And that's because we know there is something very bad in those emails, and it's very likely the court has not seen them yet because the court has only seen 10 of the 63 emails. The SEC could have picked around the bad parts and handed the court things that weren't as bad. So based on this, if the court does get a hold of these emails, the SEC is going to be in very rough shape at summary judgment. That's because if there is something in those emails that states that the SEC was unsure if XRP was a security or not, or even that they knew XRP was not a security, well, they are going to be in huge trouble, and it's going to prove to the court that, first of all, Ripple never had fair notice, which is going to be a massive problem for the SEC in every other crypto project it chooses to go after, but the court already knows that XRP has utility, and it's going to show how absurd this case is on its face to the court. I think that will put the SEC in a horrible place at summary judgment, and they will ultimately be forced to settle this thing before any of those emails get handed over to Ripple, or before they risk losing all their regulatory power over the rest of the cryptocurrency industry. So with that said, what is the bearish news? What is the bad news? Well, tomorrow, Cynthia Loomis is releasing her crypto bill, and guys, I just have a feeling this is going to be a Bitcoin only bill. Based on everything I have seen this lady say, it looks like she is a straight up Bitcoin maximalist. I have a feeling what she's going to put out there is going to make Bitcoin a non-security and everything else a security, based on what I have seen. And why do I think that? Is that just a random guess? Well, I could play you this 2-minute video of her saying stuff that would give you guys the chills, but I'm not going to do that because it's pretty annoying listening to her talk. But instead, I'm just going to show you who she was working with on this bill. Michael Saylor, who in this famous rant went on to say there is no second best, there's only Bitcoin. This guy, small cap scientist, did a great tweet thread on why he does not think this bill is going to be good for anything other than Bitcoin. With that said though, guys, I'm coming at this thing with a very negative view, just because based on what I saw early on, I was not hopeful for this thing being good for the crypto industry, but it could very well, the text could have changed. I know she did also work with Kevin O'Leary on this bill, and he is not a Bitcoin maximalist. So that does make me slightly hopeful that her thoughts could have changed. And a couple days ago, when videos like this, essentially proving she's a Bitcoin maxi, were circulating on Twitter, she came out and said that was before I was really educated on some other things. The language in the bill has changed. So guys, I'm kind of pessimistic on this out of precaution. I really hope I'm proven wrong on this. I would love it if this was good for all of crypto. I'm a little confused why she's not working with people like Tom Emmer, who are trying to claim almost nothing is a security. So that worries me, because that clearly means she thinks more things are a security than them. Let's see how it goes. I'm hopeful for the best. I'm not too confident it will be good, but let's see before we really get up in arms. Guys, I know that if she puts anything absurd out there, the XRP army is going to let her hear it. Let's see what happens. Either way, XRP is already going to get clarity when they beat the stupid SEC in court. Let's get that over with a big win tomorrow, and we'll worry about this bill later. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. Make sure to like and subscribe. It helps me out so much. And for now, Mickle out.